I have to admit something really quick, guys. So, I guess when we moved the microphone, it was off. Check his real quick, Mike.
What do you mean off?
It was paused. It was on red. Check his to make sure you didn't hit it. Okay, that was on. So they picked us up. So that's good.
What do you mean?
Ours was off.
Oh.
So if we were lip syncing for a little while, I hope you were able to read the lips. All right, but they probably picked it up on the other microphone, so we're good.
You're such a freaking noob.
Well, listen, man. We
What
were
are you
grabbing
doing
stuff.
here
We're
when
moving.
you're right
We're moving stuff. We're turning and burning.
One job. You had one
Hey,
job.
Like I said, I would not make the best air traffic controller.
No,
Okay,
you would
that's
not.
all I'm saying.
No, you would
I say it
not.
all the time. Yes, F-3565, you are clear to land. Amazon, you are on the same runway. Go ahead, come on in. You know.
Meanwhile, his mic's muted. Nobody can hear him.
So they're all just flying around in
The
circles.
tower's awfully quiet today. I don't know what's going on.
And I'm like, hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Tower, can you hear me? Yeah, Tower, are you there? I'd be like, wait, then why are they not hearing me here? Oh, well, hold on a second.
That's all right. The pilots will just communicate and then I'll land. Yeah, turn to base.
Turn around because the guy
on approach.
Yeah, they see me up there eating like some food or something. They're like, "Are you even working today?" Yeah. Oh.
I can literally see. I could see you doing that. Like you look down the radar screen and there's like little splotches of food all over it. And you're thinking they're planes, like little blips.
The sauce is running. The sauce is running. You are coming in too fast, Flight 368. You're coming in too fast. Oh wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's just barbecue. Yeah. But no. So
you just giant meatball and directly in front of you.
There's a giant meteor coming your way. But so you have it's a group called Airplanes and Coffee.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about it. Tell the listeners about it.
So Airplanes and Coffee started out, a guy named John Noggle, who's a real good friend of mine, started working on his private pilot license. And he started this group called Airplanes and Coffee. And it was just, in his mind, it was just going to be a fun place on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. And it was a fun place on Facebook to, maybe get some pilots in and talk about airplanes. So real no agenda, no grandiose ideas about doing anything with it other than having fun. And I met him about 3 or 4 days after he formed Airplanes and Coffee or started the group. And they did a fly-in where they kept their airplanes out at Addison Airport. And I thought, a fly-in to Addison, that's not going to work. Well, I went to it. We had a coffee pot and a dozen donuts and about 15 people there, just kind of milling around the airplane right there on Sierra, where in the patio hangars where they kept one of the airplanes. Had a real good time, got to meet everybody. Everybody's really nice. And I thought, well, it's kind of a cool group. So I joined the Facebook group and it started growing. Mm-hmm. I mean, within just a few weeks, there were a few thousand people in it. And I'm like, wow, that's growing pretty quick. And then the next month, they had another fly-in out at the Addison Airport. And then John and I were talking and decided that we got to get away from Addison if anybody's actually going to fly in. So then the next month we went to Rockwall and we had 6 airplanes fly in. And by this time, the group's really taken off, and we were probably up to close to 10,000 people in the group. So it's just a couple of months it just started taking off. Of course, this was right in the middle of COVID. I mean, it was only 3 years ago. And then the next month, Big Q Aviation down in Midlothian called us and said, "Hey, you guys, y'all bring your airplanes and coffee here." So we did. We went down there, and by that time, more and more people were joining, and the word was getting out. And of course, John's a master marketer. We're both in the real estate business, and so marketing is what we do, and he's really, really good at it. And so he just really got the word out, and we got out to Midlothian, and they've got this really nice outdoor patio deck from the second floor, and we're sitting up there, and we look up and it looks like Oshkosh. I mean, there are planes lined up for as far as you can see, and they just keep coming in and coming in and coming in. Then all of a sudden we look up and there's a couple of L-39s flying across with smoke on, and it was Russell Armstrong and the Thunderbird painted up L-39, and they come and do a couple of passes, then they come back and land. And so we got to meet Russell that day, and all of a sudden the Trojan Flyers, they're based there. So they pull out their T-28s right there, then they fire them up and they go fly. And it was just a really cool event. And we looked up and we had like between 65 and 70 airplanes flew in that day. And there were probably, I don't know, 300 people. And so that one's what really kicked off the craze. And then all of a sudden we started growing like 3,000 to 5,000 people a week on the Facebook group. We jumped up real quick to 100,000. And then within just a few months after that, we were at 200,000. And right now we're sitting at about 242,000. So it's really kind of taken off. Well, 2 years ago, we decided that, man, this thing is growing so fast and it's getting so popular. I think we can really do something special with it. So we started a 501c3, made it a nonprofit organization, and we started raising money for scholarships for people going into aviation related programs. And so we've been able to give away 16 scholarships to this point. We've had 40 community fly-in free events. We go out and talk to the kids in the schools, try to get them out to the airport, get them up in their first airplane ride. We market to the businesses in the community, trying to get them out to the airport and introduce aviation to them, and make sure they understand the value of the airport that's there in their community and the economic impact that it brings, so that we can quit losing some airports.
Right.
And it's been
we had a little visitor.
Was that a squirrel?
It's a flying squirrel.
Flying squirrel. There's a
Dragonfly
dragonfly just came up right beside my head. And
he said, "I'm going for it. Going in, guys."
He's like, oh, you guys saw my flying? I got this.
Exactly. So it's been really cool. It's been a heck of a ride, and I'm the president of the board, and I travel all over, just promoting Airplanes and Coffee and trying to get the word out. And we started our card carrying membership program, and for $25 a year, become a member. And at this point, it's really about supporting the mission.
Right.
We've got a brand new director of membership that is working diligently now for the last month to find more sponsors that will add benefit, discounts and whatnot to our members, so that our whole goal is for the membership to become an absolute no-brainer. That you give us $25 and we save you several $100s a year on your aviation stuff, and that's what we're working to do. My personal goal is probably somewhere between 20 and 25,000 members. If we can get to that point, then we'll have the budget to really do some really cool things, like take our model of our region 1 and just start plopping it around the country, because our goal is to basically have about 20 to 30 fly-ins every month across the country, in a very grassroots approach to advancing general aviation. And that's really what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. So I also have a goal to do a Sun and Fun Oshkosh type event in North Texas in like October. And I've got a time frame in my brain. My personal time frame on that is in the next 5 years, because that is definitely something I want to see before I'm done with aviation and just get aged out. Which I got a long ways to go. I got a long ways to go, but I want to see it flourish and really grow to at least Sun and Fun size, if not larger.
So was anybody able to join?
Oh, absolutely. Just go to airplanesandcoffee.com, hit the join button, put your credit card in. It'll assign you a membership number. Right now, we're just over 300, so you can still become a member for less than 1,000 with a membership number less than 1,000. So that's kind of cool. So if you think about AOPA and EAA and how they started, and think about the number of years it took them to get to where we are now, we're growing. Just I love it when airplanes come over.
Run!
Another squirrel. Everybody's looking.
As long as we don't hear.
Everybody's looking under the tent here, trying to see if we can see it.
I always say, as long as
it's
we don't hear
something with radial engines. I don't know what it was, but it was cool.
Yeah.
I still don't see it.
We had a drive-by.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dutch T6s.
really cool.
Yeah. Oh, the air show's starting.
The air shows are starting.
They're dropping
Cool.
bombs out there.
Yeah.
we have explosions on the field, ladies and gentlemen.
So you guys get
explosions
first
on the
row
field.
seat to bomb explosions and.
Yeah, it's looks like Tora starting there.
Yeah, the one thing that I've noticed over probably the last decade, here in Lakeland, is the fact of how much this event has grown, and this airport itself has grown with the introduction with Amazon coming in and the city really putting a lot of money behind this airport. It has gone from nothing to something in a short period of time. So it's been really, we've always had the Sun and Fun, but the scale over the last decade has really just went woof.
So about 8 or 10 years ago, I flew out here in a Navajo to pick up a family they were visiting. They were out at Kissimmee and they were visiting, Disney World, and the weather was horrible. And so we were supposed to fly in. We flew in on Friday night. We're supposed to pick them up Saturday morning. We were going to depart around 8 or 10, somewhere in that neighborhood, and fly back to Addison and Dallas. And the weather was just horrible. It was just raining and thunderstorms. And so we looked up, we realized this is going to be the afternoon before we can get off. So the guy I was flying with, who was captain of the ship, he was an Avidyne dealer. And so he called the guys at Avidyne here because Sun and Fun was going on. So we jumped in a rental car and came down here, and they met us at the back gate, gave us credentials to their booth, and we walked in, and we were here for maybe an hour and a half, and I just kind of walked around a little bit, looked at it. So this is kind of cool. Yeah. Then we went back to rental car and drove back to Kissimmee and waited till like 1 a.m, and the family was like, yeah, we're going to take Southwest home. Y'all bring the airplane. Y'all bring the airplane back whenever you can. And let me tell you, that ride home, that was a great decision on their part because it was sketchy.
I bet flying out was sketchy.
We just, when we finally took off, we just, split thunderstorms and flew back. It was uneventful, but it was bumpy. It was rough.
I gotta ask Russ a question. So it's funny because I always laugh when people from out of state how they say Kissimmee. They Kissimmee. They always say Kissimmee, but it's Kissimmee.
Kissimmee. Okay.
Kissimmee.
All right.
No, I'm just like, but my family up north all say the same thing. We're gonna go stay in Kissimmee, and I go, it looks like Kissimmee, but I said in Florida we call it Kissimmee.
Yeah.
And they're like, doesn't even sound right.
We have a lot of towns like that.
Yeah.
It actually is Mahia, not Mexia. It actually is Waxahachie, not Waxahachie. It actually is Joshua, not Joshua. Although, depending on who the residence is, they'll argue with you over that. But yeah, we definitely have towns like that in Texas.
We have a city on the West Coast like that too, called it's called Homosassa, but everybody calls it Homo Sassa when they're from out of town.
There you go.
Because of how it's spelled, so they'll say
right.
Homo Sassa. I'm like, Homo Sassa.
Homo Sassa.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Homo Sassa,
so,
not Homo Sassa.
I guess about 3 years ago, when we first started Airplanes and Coffee, we flew out here in Mike's Bonanza, and then when we camped, they parked us down there by the runway lights there at the end of the runway,
right,
way out there in overflow. When I was laying in bed at night looking up through the skylight, I was watching the wings of Amazon come in and land.
Yeah.
They just come skirt right over you.
We were right beside the runway lights. I mean, it was like we were. It's like
so they were down. They would move.
Oh
over
yeah, absolutely. I've been looking straight up in bed and I'm watching their wings come over the top of us all night long. But it was cool. It was cool.
See, that would be cool to me, man.
It was awesome. I wouldn't trade that experience.
I wouldn't trade that stuff for the world. I mean, I love playing.
Well, except maybe my fifth wheel.
Yeah, that you said. I really love the fact that I brought this because it's way more comfortable.
Yeah.
And considering the weather tomorrow is supposed to be a little bit sketchy.
There's something to be said about having your own bathroom and your own bed. Yes. So I like sleeping in my fifth wheel.
It's always funny because totally not plane related, but when you go camping, you always have the one person that brings like the fifth wheel or the big RVs, and stuff, and then you always got the other people that bring the tents.
Yeah.
And they're like this. Oh man. And I'm like,
I don't know what you're talking about. I slept great.
Yeah, they're all like, my back is killing me. You know what I mean? And everybody else is
you should put a Tempur-Pedic in that thing. That'd be awesome.
And you're out there like this, watching TV for the satellite, doing it.
Yeah.
Or now they call it glamping, I guess.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, my when I went to camp with my dad, he was like old school. So it was just, sleeping bag on the ground, just a pup tent, You know, you just cooking out like like almost MRE style food. You know, nothing great. Then I went camping with my lawyer friend, and they pull up in like an RV, and they have like a full kitchen, and they're like making these elaborate meals, and like there's AC and
Right.
satellite TV. I was
I've
like,
got a
this
full
is
outdoor
camping.
kitchen set
Yeah.
up with a
Yeah.
Blackstone, the grill, a cooktop, and of course I've got my 60 cup coffee urn out there, and I just make coffee, and people come by every morning. A lot of the stow guys came by, the stow pilots came by this morning, sat and talked to me.
Russ seems like he's really roughing it.
Dan,
Yeah, you know.
Dan Russ was out there. Steve Henry came by, and Levi No Guess was with him, and
I feel like when you get
Matt
sold-
Peterson, he was with them. They all came over in a golf cart.
Levi's stickers were cracking me up when he handed me one. I love
Yeah.
his little
His little
stickers
mustache.
with the mustache
Yeah.
on.
I've got a sticker
Yeah.
collection on my RV, and of course I've got one of his on there. Levi's,
really
he's
cool.
awesome dude. He's from Texas too, so
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
his plane's right
That
there.
is-
that's
yeah,
a
the
Levi's
storage.
plane right there.
Storage,
Yeah,
yeah.
storage.
I like that
That's
plane too.
a really cool plane.
It is cool. At Snodgrass 2 years ago, I guess, he and I went flying and did a little YouTube video.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to talk him into letting me go up with him.
yeah.
I got fun to go with him so bad when I met him, I was like, going with this dude.
Yeah, so you guys come by
Yeah.
the tent and get some
Yeah.
coffee in the morning.
Yeah,
I have it out every morning.
Absolutely. What time?
I put it on about 6:15. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour for it to cook. So
Yeah, we'll stop by and see him.
I was
so
gonna say
around 7:15, it's ready.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
So,
So again, you want to just go ahead and tell the listeners where they can find the website again?
So airplanesandcoffee.com, and of
Okay.
course join the Facebook group. We've got a Facebook page and a Facebook group.
Right.
And when you join the group, we keep it positive. We got an army of moderators that keep the politics and the
that's
the
no need
people
for
that
that
attack people out.
yeah,
And we just want to be a fun place,
Right.
and we're a place people can go ask questions without getting beat up. And I think we do a pretty good job of it. We're the second largest aviation group on Facebook, and the largest is not monitored.
wow.
So
Wow.
it's just full of people trying to sell Bitcoin and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And we've booted out over 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Either porn stars or people looking to find a rich husband, or
Stuff like
or
that.
just trying to sell airplanes and coffee T-shirts.
So what's
we
the
get
name
a
of that
lot of
group?
those.
I'm just kidding.
And I have no idea, they're not in ours.
I'm gonna sign up as soon as we get done.
So
there.
it's a fun group. We work at it. We got an army of moderators that really help us and do a good job. When someone joins, their very first post has to be approved, but after that, they're free to post whatever they want as long
And then
as
then
it
it's
follows the
moderated at that
rules.
point,
But
so,
we
yeah.
do follow our rules and take them very serious.
I just like the fact that you guys, the goal is for scholarships for people that want to get into aviation and they may not have that resource to be able to get into it, and it's there for them. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we have people that are RV, not RV, RC pilots that are involved. A lot of drone pilots have kind of joined in. There's a big drone group that races drones around Dallas, and
Wow.
a lot of their members are in there as well.
That's cool.
We've got a lot of simulators, people that either for medical reasons or financial reasons can't get into aviation, so they just go on Microsoft or one of the other flight simulators.
Yeah.
And so we've got a lot of those folks in there. We got a lot of people that just absolutely love aviation, but for again medical or financial reasons aren't pilots.
Right.
And we welcome them in, and they really enjoy it. And I get out to a lot of these events, and I get people tell me all the time they love the group and thank us for doing it. And it's just a
That's all the
labor of
reward
love
you
for
need
us.
right
It's-
there, man.
It really is. It's just a lot of fun. And when I'm able to write a check to a school and give a scholarship away, I love it. I mean, we've got people from Florida, we have people from California that's been given scholarships, people from the Midwest and of course
all over.
Texas. They've come from all over.
That's awesome.
So
man. Well,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I know we appreciate you, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show today. We really
absolutely,
appreciate
it's
it.
been fun.
We'll have you on again whenever we're in a regular environment and you're back home.
Yeah.
How
You do
about
it.
that?
You
How
do
about
it.
that?
Yeah, you got my number there. So
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Give me a
I'm gonna
call.
keep on it. We're gonna
We can
Yeah.
jump on it.
absolutely.
Be awesome.
Exciting.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, Mike, you got anything else, or you think
No,
we're
I
good
just
for the
appreciate
day?
you coming out
Yeah.
today, and look forward to talking to you again. And
Don't forget, guys, head over to Airplanes and Coffee. You can Google it, go straight to the website as well. You can also join their Facebook group. I know we're going to do that. As a matter of fact, as soon as we're off the air.
I'm going to sign up as a member, too. I'm an aspiring pilot.
Yeah.
I got enough time in solo, and then COVID hit, so I didn't get through it. So
there you go.
You're going to start again.
Start again.
And you also have a nice cup of coffee before you go.
There you go.
Bingo.
Caffeine and adrenaline, nothing better.
That's right.
That is a good combination, actually.
So, guys, don't forget to head over to thedailybm.com where you can check out all our socials. We're all over TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. We're there, Twitter. And also don't forget to like and subscribe us on YouTube and on Rumble. We are also on Rumble, so don't forget to head over there as well. Mikey, got anything before we get out of here?
I know. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for stopping in.
All right. Russ, thanks again, brother.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys,
Enjoy
and
it.
we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Deuces.